You guys are the first Australians that I've ever talked to, and it's amazing because listen, I love Phil Collins, and he's Australian.
Is
I
he?
love that guy.
I didn't
So
even know he was Australian.
I don't think he is Australian.
He's Australian, man. I think you screwed that up,
wait,
man.
hold on a sec. Wait, this is so embarrassing. Wait, Phil Collins.
Okay, if
Come
was
on.
Australian,
He's English.
blame me.
I think he's English.
No, he's English. I thought he was Australian.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, Adam Lupus here from the Up and Adam Show, bringing you back the old school vibes of late night television.
What's up, everybody? I'm here with Sooshi Mango, Andrew, Carlo, and Joe. How you guys doing?
Very good.
Hello.
Very
G'day, mate. How are you?
Reporting to you from the land down under.
Yeah.
Wait, men. What's it called? Men at Work. Thank you.
Well done. Well,
The
Yes.
land of Vegemite. The land of Vegemite. That's the word.
Oh yeah, I love Vegemite.
Yeah. So these
Yeah.
boys are from Australia. They're getting on at 10 a.m. when it's 7 p.m. here. So nice little time difference. But guys, why don't you just kind of explain your page a little bit? If anyone's listening, they don't know who you are and what you guys are about.
We'll go for it, Carl. You want to give it a run?
Well, I reckon you should give that a run. I reckon you should kick it off. I think you should start it.
Oh, I think-
Definitely Andrew shouldn't give it a run.
Well, I could. I'd rather not. But you do it because I
you want
just
me to
feel
do it?
sorry for talk, you know?
All right, I'll do it. No, you do it, Carl. Or you want me to do it?
Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead.
Do it? Hey,
Yeah, you do it.
Hey, Adam, you do it.
I'll do it. Guys, just take the What is it like? It's like Abbott and Costello. Who's on first? He's on second. What's on second?
We basically we're a little comedy group out of Australia, guys. We do what we call ethnic comedy over here. So and basically you have a lot of the same sort of comedians over back in Toronto and in America and so forth. But we sort of emulate our family, friends, parents, and bring that type of comedy to the people around the world, I guess. So our page is we've got 3 ethnic dads and some ethnic mums. And then we basically bring that type of comedy around the world and around Australia. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We've been going for about 5 years now, guys. 5, yeah. About
I think we've been saying 5 years for the last 6 years.
10 years.
I think that's we're going to be like 25 years in and say, yeah, we've been doing this for 5 years. And,
5 years, give or take.
Yeah, 5 years is a good number. No, but yeah, I think it's been I think it's our 6th year.
Cool.
And we start, so
Somewhere around there.
yeah, 6th year. Yeah, we started 2015.
It's almost 7 years, but 5 years is good.
You have to always round it to the 5. Yeah,
It's been about a year or 10.
Yeah,
But
it's a comedy page, guys. And we play on our ethnic roots.
yeah, you guys are doing well, man. I see you all over, like even TikTok now. I see you guys killing it. But just how'd you guys start up and just get to making videos? Were you always like busting each other's balls like how you are like every day and just kind of decided to film it? Or what was the first step into putting it on social?
I guess it started by accident. I mean we've always had that funny bone for many years, like always around the family, always breaking balls with different family functions and events and so forth, and always enjoyed a laugh with our friends and so forth. And then one day we just what we say is we just put a camera in front of us, really. And that's really what happened. It started off with one video, and then that video got some movement, some traction, and it sort of becomes a little bit of an addiction, because you put it out there and you're making people laugh and you're like, oh, wow, I want to keep doing this. And that's how it really started. And I did a video, then I was going to my brother, and my brother's Carlo, by the way, and we were saying to him, can you have a look at this, have a look at that? And we're putting it out. And then we did one together. And as they say, the rest is history. And then Andrew came in. Andrew's been an old family friend of ours for like 30 years.
Mhm.
So
Literally a paisano for real. Like his
Paisano.
paisano. His
Nice.
parents are from the same islands of Sicily that our parents are from. Yeah, the Isole, off the coast there in Sicily.
Yeah.
every Calabrian now in Toronto hates us now. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, not
Yeah,
me
they-
though, not me.
Yeah.
Mate, the rivalry over there is huge, man. I mean, when we came over there for a show, and people were like, "Where are you from?" And then they were smiling, and then I'd say, "Oh, I'm from Sicily. Parents are from Sicily." Ah, all right.
Yeah, but that's what it is.
I thought you were from Calabria. I'm like, no, it's almost the same. They're like, yeah.
It's stupid. It's so stupid here. And we just had this conversation with someone today about it. They were saying like in North America, especially like I would say just Canada, the Italians here, we think we're so like, not me, but the other people here, they're called the Giovanots. That's what we call them here because they think they're so glamorous. Oh, I'm better than everybody else. And it's like, oh, you're from Sicily. Oh, okay. Oh, you're from Calabria. Oh, it's never ending.
You know when you look at it, right? It goes down like this. It goes down. If what country you're from, then what state or whatever you're from. So Sicily, Calabria. Then it goes what province. Then it goes what street. Then it goes what house. So it just keeps going and going and going and going.
Oh, you're the houses down the
That's
street
us.
beside.
Italians always looking for a fight, man. Always looking for an argument. So it's like
There's no
It
Italians.
makes
I never
no
thought of
sense. It makes no sense whatsoever to me because they're all farmers. Calabrese, Siciliano, all the same. We're all from Italy, you know.
Yeah.
So what the hell's the difference? The rivalry used to be pretty fierce here, but it seemed to have sort of passed on. It's not quite as fierce as it used to be like 20 years ago.
I think it's also the dialect too. Like I don't know what it is, but okay, Calabrese, our language is disgusting. It's pretty gross. But like
you got a lot of hatred.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, but in Sicily too, like it doesn't. I
I
don't know.
thought they're speaking African, man, in Sicily, man. It's like what? So you go to Sicily, it's like, what the hell's going on? What are you talking about? Like,
Oh, the worst is Barez. Barez, the dialect,
Barez is hilarious.
it's like Portuguese.
Wasn't
basically.
Lino Banfi Barez from Bali?
Yeah, Lino Banfi was
Banfi
Baresi.
from Bali there.
Yeah, it's like speaking Portuguese.
It's
Yeah,
full on the
Portuguese.
Baresi.
You got a lot of Portuguese in Toronto, in Canada.
In downtown, like St. Clair. Yeah.
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 So
You're Portuguese. We've got a lot of Greeks in Australia, in Melbourne, where we're from. Like we hardly got any Portuguese. We've noticed that.
Overall, yeah.
Is there
Besides the Nando's.
how
We got
many
Nando's chicken.
how many
You guys
like
got Nando's over there?
Huh?
You guys got Nando's chicken over there? The only Portuguese we're familiar with over here is a chain of chicken restaurants called Nando's.
Yeah,
You
we
guys
have
got
that.
Nando's over there?
I don't have it in Chicago, I don't think, but
I think we.
but like how many Italians immigrated to Australia? You think like
Well,
is it kind of more recent?
No, in the 50s, in the 50s and 60s was a huge influx. And I actually looked at it not long ago. I looked at it, the stats on who has the biggest population outside being Australian. And it said English, obviously, because Australians are basically English, convict English.
Mhm.
So they came here as whatever. And Italian was second. So we've got the biggest
Oh wow.
population. Yeah. So it's not, I don't think it's as big as like America and Canada, because you guys are just like
You
Italians
guys are
everywhere.
You guys are hardcore. You guys are hardcore. Excuse
But
the
there's a
pun, you
lot.
guys
It's
are
obviously a
hardcore
lot.
Italians.
No pun intended.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's quite.
No,
it's
there's
the biggest
quite a
pop-
lot. Yeah, there's quite a lot, and I think what's happened though is in Australia, this is what I think anyway, is that because the Italians came so early, they
Mhm.
came in the 50s and 60s, right? And
Yeah.
then the rest of Europe sort of followed a little bit later in the 70s and 80s. So a lot of the Greeks, your Macedonians, your Croatians, and so forth. So, and we find that the Italians in Australia now don't. Not that they don't hold tradition, is they still have tradition, but they're not as traditional and as patriotic as these other countries.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
they've
yeah.
been
Well,
in
It's kind of how
so long.
America is too. Like I
When-
feel like
when is
Toronto
it?
is a little bit. I mean, a little bit. It's getting watered down more and more. I'd say, you know.
Yeah, from
So
the
I
way
think,
we
I
see,
still think. Oh, sorry, Carl. I still think though that America, Australia's got a bit more of the culture of the Italian culture. Not, I shouldn't say the culture. They hold to traditions a bit more than America because the Italians came to America in the early 1900s.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they did.
Right. So with us it was the 50s. So it's like the opposite effect. Yeah. So we
Yeah.
still got a little bit more than the Americans, but the Americans, when you guys are Italian, you guys are Italian. Like
Yeah,
it's
love to show
Yeah.
it for sure.
It's
You're
love
more
the accent.
Italian than Italians. You're more
it's
Italian
crazy.
than Italians in America. Those ones.
Yeah, I know for real. A lot of people like to joke about it and stuff like that, you know.
It,
But,
it
uh,
is.
oh, we love it. We love it. We love seeing it. We love watching it. We can't wait to come there again and meet
Well,
everyone. I mean,
you know.
we get to America. We got to Canada last time, but
Yeah, exactly.
The Australian Italians Italians all over the world are really influenced a lot by the American movies and pop culture. You know, like it's just the way it is.
True.
Like we follow my idol is Stallone. You know, like
Oh,
and
yes.
you know that he's my idol, absolute idol.
Yeah, I
Like,
love him.
I go crazy over him, right? And you know, your Pacinos and De Niro's and all those movies and all the. You know, they're the ones because we identify with them. We're like, hey, that face looks similar to mine. Yeah, like, oh, God, that's me.
I
I'm
wish
the
I looked
Italian
similar.
stallion of Australia. You know.
Yeah,
So
true.
It's true.
like,
The pop culture, especially. Yeah.
Yeah, it's we got it. So
That's what I'm saying.
But
I was always curious because Australia is definitely like probably the third biggest fan group we have or like customer base we have. But it's like
Yeah.
I feel like with Canada, I talk to people more regularly. I have cousins over there. But Australia, it's like I'm not really too, you know, I have never visited, don't talk to too many people. So I'm always like curious about how it is out there, you know, just because the customers we send to and stuff.
You guys are the first Australians that I've ever talked to, and it's amazing because listen, I love Phil Collins and he's Australian. I love that guy.
I didn't even know he was Australian.
I don't think he is Australian.
Australian, man. I think you screwed that up,
Wait,
man.
hold on a sec. Wait, this is so embarrassing. Wait, Phil Collins.
Okay, if
Come
was
on.
Australian,
He's
I'd
English.
claim him.
I think he's English. I think he's English.
No, he's English. I thought he was Australian.
If he was Australian, we would have claimed him, but he's not. He's not Australian.
Bill, Adam, English, Australian, they're different but the same.
Yeah, tomato. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
But,
that's right.
What would you guys
Look,
say?
us Australians here are just normal like everyone. Sorry, 1 second. My kangaroo jumping around. Hang on. Can you bring the kangaroo out the front, please? Thank you. All right, we can continue now.
Is your guys' fan base too? Like, what would you say is the biggest country outside of Australia that's your fan base?
It'd be America and Canada.
Yeah, for sure.
Are you talking country or are you talking like?
Yeah, exactly. Just like your demographics outside of Australia, because I'm assuming Australia is the biggest for you guys, or do you kind of pick up?
Yeah.
Is it kind of competitive though? Is it pretty close? Because I feel like what's crazy about your guys' comedy is it resonates with like so many different countries. You know, like I think it's awesome.
Our TikTok platform is really mixed. Our TikTok's got French, Italy, Italian fans.
Yeah.
What's interesting is so we reach out to different people in those countries because like the culture is the same. Like we do, like if we send up or do characters that are, you know, old aunties and uncles and stuff like that, you guys will get it because those people, they bring their culture the same way they bring it to Australia, the same way they bring it to Canada, the same way they bring it to America. They bring it to each, but what's different for us, and when we did a tour of Canada. We went to Toronto, Montreal, and what was the other place? And Vancouver. What we noticed was our young characters, right? So you would call, you know, your Jersey Shore type of character, you call them Guidos.
Yeah.
Is it Guidos?
Yeah.
What do you call them? Yeah, Guidos.
Yeah,
like
Guidos.
Our young characters have a different slang. So if we put them on stage in America and in Canada, everyone will be going, no, that's not the way a Guido sounds, or that's not the way that, you know. So because we've got our own sayings, like our own things that we say that you guys wouldn't get, you know, because you don't have access to it. We have access to what you guys do from, you know, all the movies and pop culture stuff that you send our way, but you guys don't get a lot of our stuff. You know what I mean? So,
well, you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy, Carlo? For example, you guys are a lot farther away from us, right? And obviously there's that big gap because you guys have different slang, how you mentioned. But me and Mike from Canada and the States, you would think it's a lot similar, but you'd be surprised. There's a big rivalry with Canada and the United States about Italian stuff. Us Canadians, and listen, I'm not like this because I think every Italian should be treated equally. But there's a lot of Canadians who think, oh, American Italians, they're not real Italians. And then America, same thing. They go, Canadians, oh, mousse, maple syrup. Listen, I live in an igloo myself. I'm not gonna deny that. But at the same time, it's like it's a big rivalry. So yeah, it's a lot different. Like we don't call it Guidos, we call them Ginos. That's what we call them.
Okay, yeah. So it's that type of thing. But what remains universal for every Italian, you know, amongst the Western world, is our aunties and uncles have this very similar accent. They do the sauce, they do the salami the same way, they do everything that they do the exact same way. So that's one thing we all can relate to. And I think that's why our stuff gets out to people over there.
It's so weird that their behavior, the accents, like they're having this slight differences, but their behavior is just, it's still always dialed in everywhere around the world. It's like we all grew up in the same living room, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's the funny thing. And also too, what I really liked, because obviously with all this COVID stuff happening in the midst of the pandemic is when I first heard about you guys. And I fell in love with all your videos. It was just so relatable. And even the way you guys do the Italian accent, it's like the Italian accent mixed with the Australian. It's so funny. Even when you go like, fucking you do the way you go. It's so funny. It's hilarious. And you guys dress the characters. You guys remind me of like the Three Stooges, but like the Italian.
Thank you very much, man.
The slapstick.
You guys have a group for sure. Like, I don't know, even just the mannerisms and just the video ideas, man. Like, I don't know how you think of some of this stuff, but I don't know.
We grew up watching all that stuff, guys. Like, we're massive fans of the three Marx Brothers, you know, Laurel and Hardy, Albert and Costello, the Three Stooges, Jerry Lewis, Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis. Like, we're massive fans of that. And I think subconsciously that comes out in what we do, you know. That's part of who we are, I guess, you know.
Essentially that's what they are. Like, sorry, Andrew, go ahead. I keep cutting you off. Yeah, I was just going to say, essentially that's what the characters are. They're like a version of, not if we could be 1/10 as good as the Stooges and the Marx Brothers, then I'm all hailing those guys. I'm not saying we're anything near those guys, but essentially that's what we want them to be, is just three comedic characters in the end, you know, that go beyond like ethnic humor or Italian or whatever humor. We want it to reach everyone, you know. We just think that it's a homage to that era.
Well, I think I'm at the standard. I don't know about these two other guys.
You're shit. You're terrible.
I'm definitely up there. These two.
I hold them on my back. I got sore back from holding these guys.
My shoulders are so big.
You know,
I mean, Andrew's the most jacked. I think he's been carrying all the weight here.
Yeah, but he's the weak one. He's the one who drinks tea and stuff like that.
I drink
Coincidentally, Sushi Mango didn't really start until I came along. By the way, when I came along, that's when Sushi Mango went places.
Guys, listen. I have to know. Me and Mike are really curious. What does Sushi Mango? I was gonna say mango, like a manja. What does Sushi Mango mean?
Oh well, that's
how'd the name come about?
I'll tell you what it means. All right, and this is an exclusive. It means absolutely nothing.
You're right.
No. Well, the story goes.
It means whatever you want it to mean, ads, mate. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those names where we it was thought up by a 3-year-old, and that's legit. That's serious. You know, my son was on the toilet one day, and my brother and I was thinking about what we're going to call this thing, and he was saying Sushi Mango. Like that's where it came from. So and it just sounds weird. Like it's
unique.
Whatever.
It's catchy.
It's a different name. It's how, why, and we don't know. Yeah, I guess when we started doing this comedy thing, guys, we weren't going down the ethnic part. We were just thought, let's just do comedy. But we were attracting all the ethnics early on, yeah.
Yeah, well,
and our first big videos was the Greeks versus Italians video.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's like kind of that was like your first real viral one, right? That kind of just stemmed a lot of attraction. Okay, so how'd you guys go from like, because I know you said you kind of got addicted to making people laugh and stuff, but how do you go from like that one huge viral video to all of a sudden like doing shows and this and that? Like, how'd you guys? I don't know. It just seems like a lot of
again, because I'm very talented. I got so much. No, it's.
Well, I think it was a natural progress. Like when we started it, like we had the name quirky name Sooshi Mango, and we didn't start it to be like, hey, we're going to be the next, Three Stooges or whatever. We were just meeting up twice a week, doing these videos, and it was us just having an absolute laugh. So we were enjoying that time, and it would be after hours. We were all working and stuff like that, but it was the best parts of our week. And we'd put it out, but more and more people were coming, and then you build up this audience, and it's like, okay, well, everyone's like, hey, you guys should do a show. You guys should do a show. We're like, all right, well, let's do a show. And we were talking about doing our own show, and then along comes one of the biggest ethnic comedians, probably the biggest ethnic comedian.
The biggest in Australia, anyway. The biggest in
Australia.
Nick
Giannopoulos is Greek. He sort of pioneered He's been doing it for 30 years, guys. 30 years.
Oh, wow.
And he came to us and said, hey, guys, I see what you're doing. Do you want to do a show? And we're like, all right, this is we have to take this opportunity. He's going to be able to show us how to put something really professional together, and we can learn. So we did that show. That was great. Then we come back and did another show with him the next year. And that was almost like a birth for us. It was like, so you ask how do you make that transition? Well, we had a good teacher, we had good, who showed us, because a lot of people put shows together. I'm not shitting on anyone, but a lot of people put shows together, and now we watch them, we're like, oh, that's patchy. It looks a bit strung together, and that could have well been us, but we had Nick to show us how to put together a really good package and make it a good product,
Mm-hmm.
So we did two.
Sorry, Carl. We obviously you got to put in the hard work. We put in the hard work. There was some luck in well, you could call it luck, but maybe it was destiny, I don't know. But when Nick came along, we sort of went from playing to playing straight to 900 in front of 900 people without any real formal training at all. 4 weeks training in a hall, just spitting out lines and trying to learn characters. And so we bypassed all that kind of apprenticeship stage. Really, we went from performing in front of a phone to theatres, 900,000 people. So, that's how it kind of was. It was a whirlwind. We didn't really know what we were doing. We just sort of hung on and grabbed the bull by the horns, and off we went.
When you get put in that position, I think you like my brother likes to say, you either sink or swim. And we just had to swim and we'd go for it. But what we do is different to stand up as well. Like, I'm not sure if you guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys do full characters at your shows, right? I haven't seen one before, so I'm not sure.
So it's like if you go to a theater show, you go and watch, say, Frozen, for instance. I'm not saying it's like that, but it's kind of like it's sketch based. So there'll be like maybe there's 6 different sketches throughout the show, props, sets. It's a play.
Oh wow.
Per thing, so it's like not stand up, and there's cues, there's lights, there's this, there's that. It's like a proper stage show. Again, not shitting on stand up probably the most difficult thing, but it's different to that. It's more like a theater type of stuff.
The most common reaction we get from people who do come to the show is, I didn't expect it to be that good.
Oh, we're very good. Well, we're very good.
No, but I didn't mean. I'm not saying that in like I'm not boasting. It's like most people are expecting to see three guys and a microphone and maybe a bit of sketch humor, and they're not expecting all the cues and lights and dances and music and all the other stuff that comes along with it. And they're kind of that's what makes the shows a little.
That's why we want to get to America. We want to get to America to see how the audience reacts to it, because we're certain no one in America that this kind of formula has been in Australia for 30 years, like my brother said, like with Nick, but and there was a gap until we came back. But I would love to see. We've seen how Canada took to it, and it was fantastic. We want to see how America takes to it, and that's how
Canadians loved it.
Yeah,
the Canadians loved it. You guys absolutely relished in it. You guys were so appreciative.
Hey,
even have Greek
I'm gonna come. Next time you guys come, I'm definitely gonna come down to one of your shows. I have to.
Yeah, I'd love for you guys to get out here too, for sure.
Guys, the Canadian. Oh, geez, what was the theater where we were at now? I can't remember. But we went to this theater in Toronto, and man, we went there with different cues and lighting cues and
wasn't it our first standing ovation was in Canada? Yeah, I'm sure it was. It was in Canada when the crowd all got up out of their seats.
I'm not surprised. Canadians are normally the nicest people.
Yeah, you guys are so nice, man.
So nice, man.
And all we do is say sorry.
So good, man. We had 1 hour. And they learned the show, the people backstage, so quickly, and they were just amazing throughout the night. And there was a couple of miss-ups, but then that makes shit funny when there's miss-ups, because then we play on with it, and it just made what's
a miss-up? I'm not really sure.
A cock-up. Do you guys use the expression cock-up?
I mean,
I don't want to say cock up.
I was going to say something very perverted when you said that, but I want to keep. I want to try to keep.
Why, man? I didn't want to say cock up because I don't know what cock up means.
My girlfriend's going to come over. I'm going to have a cock up.
What's the equivalent for cock up over there?
I don't know what that means.
It's like stuff up. Like you've stuffed it up. Like you made a mistake.
Like a fuck up here, probably.
Like a fuck up.
Yeah, that's it. You guys don't say the word cock, right?
Well, I mean, I say cock.
Yeah, you do.
About
you
guys
cock, do.
We swear.
Adam and us
you
are
can swear.
connected because of the whole Queen. You know, we're all part of the Commonwealth.
If I had my coin right now.
Canadians, I don't know about America, but the Canadians don't seem to say two words. Well, they say both the words, but not side by side. You guys don't say "get fucked." You guys don't say that in Canada.
Oh, we say "get fucked."
But when we said it on stage, you guys are looking at us like blinking, like what? Why are they saying that? No one says that.
People, I don't know. I don't understand this. I don't understand people here. I'm telling you.
I think it was the way we do it. It was the way we do it. Is really get fucked, and then they were like, you say that.
Yeah.
You say that in Australia, and on stage you get that reaction. But when we did it on stage there, we got hardly no laughs, and we're like, shit, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, the way you worded it, definitely.
But that's what Carlo was talking about before because that was a young character. Yeah. When we did the old characters, my God, they were howling. It was so, and the Greek character, because we do these Greek fish and chip shop owners, and I was a bit worried about those characters over there, but they absolutely loved them. You know, there's a lot of Greeks in Chicago, Michael, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. That's why I think you guys would do well here if you ever want to come out. I don't know what's the deal with traveling this and that.
That's the plan, and the plan is we're hopefully gonna once all this shit. The plan was that we're gonna come out at the end of this year, but that's gone out the window now. So hopefully at the end of next year, we're gonna do the whole Canada and US tour.
Yeah, let me know because I work with a guy too who owns a theater in the Chicagoland area too. So I think I can definitely hook you guys up and stuff. So let me know if you guys.
I can't wait to have some American brisket. When you roast it when you smoke it for 142 hours. You know.
Oh yeah.
I want barbecue. I want a deep pan. I want a deep pan pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. If you come to Chicago, everyone's got it. No one's used to it, so everyone takes a shot at it. You kind of have to try it, but
that's awesome.
We're all gluten intolerant. We're all gluten intolerant, so we're all just going to eat it. And
I'll deal with it.
I think being Italian, I think we've grown up eating so much pasta that we can't take it anymore. I'm gluten intolerant too. I think I pretty much am at this point.
Well, that's the thing. I always say that kids in all the Italian kids in primary school and high school back when I was going to school, they were all fat. They weren't fat. They were just fucking inflated because of all the allergies that they were going to eating from the gluten.
True. And all the sodium, because all the prosciutto and the salami, everything.
Walk around like pufferfish. Yeah.
It was all water. It was all water retention. That's what it was.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. That's hilarious. You know what I really like? You know what I really like, guys? So I have my own show called The Up and Adam Show. Mike has the Hardcore Talents podcast. This is like a dual thing we do, right? Together.
What was that? Yeah. Say that again.
My show is called The Up and Adam Show, right? But me and Mike collaborate on his Hardcore Talents podcast and my show. So what you guys said before, I wanted to talk about, because you mentioned about you loved Abbott and Costello, Three Stooges, all these people from like back in the day, right? And these people are legends that I guess like essentially they live on forever, their legacies. So it's nice to hear that, because I'm an old soul, and Mike has that too in him. Like he loves like things that I like as well, and that's what my show is geared towards. So I have a question for you guys actually that's kind of geared towards all the retro stuff. Do you think that comedy back in the day is better than comedy now?
Ooh, that's
good question.
Oh, good question.
I guess to add
I thought he was going to say, which one do you like the best? The Three Stooges, but that's a good question.
Really? Well, even like, for example,
that was good.
Even like, for example, too, like, I guess add on to that, what do you guys prefer? Even if it's too general, what do you guys prefer, I guess?
Look, for me, personally, there's nothing that makes me laugh harder than old school humor. There's nothing that makes me laugh harder. Anytime I just put it on, I'll always get a laugh at it. That doesn't mean you don't appreciate modern day stuff. I mean, there's some great comedians out there at the moment, and absolutely brilliant. So you find the best in both worlds. But for me, it's that, and go back to the old school Italian comedians, Lino Banfi and Christian De Sica and some of those guys. They're guaranteed laughs for me. If I'm feeling down, that's what I go to. So, yeah.
I think for me, I can't answer it like that, because I personally I'm in love with comedy in general, right? So it doesn't matter what it is. It could be someone falling over. Like we sing each other clips of someone falling over, or it could be just a stand-up, or it could be a new movie, it could be an old movie, whatever it is. As long as it makes me laugh, I'm happy. But I think the thing that differs with the old school stuff is it hits me different. It hits me different because I was watching this stuff as a kid. I was watching this stuff as a 4-year-old, 5-year-old with my dad, watching Laurel and Hardy building the house and do this slapstick stuff and hit each other across the head with wood. And when I watch it now, it gives me something that new, fresh comedy doesn't. It gives me something like, it gives me that laughter, but also it gives me this nostalgic, warm feeling. It sounds a bit corny and cheesy, but it does.
No, that's exactly how I feel about things. I'm glad you said that, because that's
I watch it, man, and I'm just like, oh man, that is so, and I love it. So on that level, I'd probably say, I'd probably gear towards the old school, but I can't, because like just comedy in general just lights my fire. It just gets me going,
Nice.
Is that too like?
I think it's harder today than what it was back then, because like you said before, Adam, you guys are like the Three Stooges. Like, back then no one could say to them, you guys are like, because they were the first.
Exactly, they're the pioneers essentially.
Well, there's so many different forms, right? There's so many different forms of comedy, so many different tastes now. Back then it was like, you like that?
There's so many more comedians. Like, you look at the state, like if you went back in the 80s, there was like 10, 20 stand-up comedians that were good, that you knew about. Now there's fucking thousands of them.
Yeah,
true. And then also the platform. Like, if you wanted to be a stand-up comedian, you had to go to a stand-up comedy, like the Comedy Store or this, that, the other, whatever it is, and you have to go and do your stand up over and over every night, perform it, this, that, the other. That's how you built your audience. Now you just do something on TikTok or Instagram or whatever it is,
Go viral,
you know, and you build your audience that way. So it was a lot. It was in, you know, and I can't bag that way because that's the way we that's the way we launched. That's how it's been 5 years for us for the past 7 years, because we launched that way. But you still have to have talent. Okay, that's something you can't not have, and you still have to be funny. It's very hard to learn how to be funny. You can go and do a stand-up course. You can go and learn how to deliver, but comedy timing is something I think that you're born with. You know, so
I don't know.
I think I love both. I love what's happening now and what happened back then. I think the reason what Carlo said is the same. I watched the Three Marx Brothers, and I watched that, and I remember my dad laughing at it. I remember us laughing at it together. I remember seeing it for the first time. Like, you remember that? But they were the first. They were the first ones that created this havoc, and now we are like them. But hopefully we can do it a little bit different, you know, to create our own legacy. Because I think that they're building the statue now, I think, at the front of one of the theaters. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
So is it like, is your family pretty funny and stuff? Because you guys are both brothers, and you both, like you said, you can't just, it's hard to learn comedy. Like, you kind of just have a feel for it, you know? So you guys are family friends. Like, was it always just that way? Like, how'd you develop that?
Our dad was funny. Our dad, he was a character, you know. He was a jokester. He liked all that slapstick stuff. He loved comedy. So he was pretty out there.
He's the reason why we know all that stuff, Carl.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Andrew's father as well is a very funny character. So our fathers
my dad's really animated and real corny, stupid dad jokes I grew up with.
I love those are the best ones.
I used to be embarrassed when my friends would come over because he'd do all this stupid shit, and I'd be like, "Dad, come on, please, what are you doing?" Now I do the same shit with my kids. So, you know, it all runs. I think you know, a bit like Pip said, a bit like Joe said. You either got a funny bone or you don't. And
Andrew's dad, I've known Andrew now for 30 years, and we've been doing the same. Every time I say hello to him, we've been doing the same thing for 30 years.
Same routine with my dad.
Same routine for 30 years.
What's the routine?
Like,
left or right?
Mr. Jack. Hey, you come with Jack? Come with here. Jack, come. Hey, how are you? Good. Yes, Jack. Every single time.
Wow.
And there's two go-to routines with my dad. It's the Jack routine, and the other one is left. So you say, "How are you? You all right?" He goes, "No, I'm not right. I'm left." "You're right. I'm left."
That's an epic dad joke.
Yeah, that's
right.
I could see you guys probably have so much comedy in the bank, like growing up with each other for, 30 years too. Like, you guys probably just think about like old times and just come up with some skits, huh? Like, where does the inspiration for the skits come about? Is it like, I'm assuming?
Yeah, well, we lived most of it. You know, that was the easy part. Like, a lot of the family, friends, and people that we know, and shit that people would say, and then you'd sort of think about shit that they would say. You know. I think that's a lot of the inspiration, or a lot of the
needs to be.
If you put those characters in any situation, right? And like when you put on the character, we put on the wig, and we actually become these stupid characters somehow. I don't know what. Like, we just have a different thought process, and you say different things. You get away with a lot more. You can say like more brash stuff to people, like, you can just get away with it, right? So when you put those characters in any situation, somehow it just comes out funny. It's like putting your dad or your uncle in a situation and going, just say what you would normally say, and they come out and you record them. You're like, fuck, that's funny shit.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, you know what it is, Carlo. I think it's because I'm an aspiring actor. I'm trying to get into acting and everything. And I got into it because I like exploring behavior, right? So, for example, let's say I'm playing a doctor and I have to really get into that character. It's funny. You learn about becoming a doctor, right? And make it your own. So even with this, for example, your skits, when you guys play like your mom or you play your dad, right? You're not only trying to kind of imitate them, but you're also thinking like, okay, I'm in this character. Like, let me try to make it my own now. And then you guys make it your own. And that's where the uniqueness comes from, because your content is different from any other person I've seen do with the skits and like the wigs and everything. You guys literally feel like, I literally feel like sometimes, listen, Andrew has a nice beard, but sometimes when he puts on that wig, I'm like, oh, okay. Look at that. He looks like a great nonna. Look at that.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Yeah, people. I don't know why it is. People don't seem to see that when I put my mum character.
Disappears.
I got a full-on thick, lush beard. It disappears when I put my mum wig character on.
Exactly. Oh my god. I almost fell in love. I'm like, oh wait, that's a guy. Oh my god.
To go back to what you said, Adam. You know, like when we put the stuff on and you become the character. So if you're going to act as a doctor, you would try and become the doctor. If you try and become a doctor for 5 years, we've been doing it for 5 years, right? It's 5, 7, 15 years. You keep putting on that doctor's outfit and saying what that doctor would say and being that doctor, man, the character actually becomes real. Like you start thinking
like the character,
but proper. Like it's almost like you can't even snap out of it after. It's like you become after you do it for long periods of time, saying the same character. The character starts to grow all these different little quirks and things and like facial expressions. It's actually pretty amazing.
That's how Heath Ledger. That's how Heath Ledger performed for the Joker. He actually that role literally like took his life essentially. Like he literally got so into the role, and the role consumed him, because sometimes when you're playing it, you're right. Sometimes you get so into that you get these little quirks. You think like, what if I were to do this now? Like you literally start to. That's how we think as creative artists, I guess, even for you guys. When you're doing even skits, sometimes new things will pop up on the fly, and that's what makes for good comedy. Because look at stand-up comedians. A lot of their time, well, even though they have their not scripts, but they plan out what they're gonna say. Sometimes they're on the fly with shit, you know. So even for you guys with the skits, it's the same deal.
When we do our videos, we sometimes we'll write 5, 6 things down, and the rest of it's all on the fly. Because it's as you're going, cause my brother might say something, Andrew might say something, and I'll go, oh, I could say this. Yeah. And it goes like that. With the show, our shows are fully scripted. There's no on the fly with our shows. They have to be fully scripted. That's the difference between us and like a stand-up as well. Like what I say, the boys are relying on to get a joke out of sometimes. So you got to keep that going. But what I was going to say before was when you were talking about the characters, sometimes these characters now are so embedded into us that in everyday life, like I am just today, if I go to a shop and they say, what biscuit do you want? Sometimes you might say, instead of say, I'll take that one, it's going to be this one. It comes like
so differently,
not exactly like that, but shit comes out wrong how the dad or the mum would say it sometimes, and you just subconsciously.
It's weird.
Are you ever like,
oh, give me that one, the coffee, please. The one, the coffee, please. Over there, please.
I was gonna say, did you ever go like, oh shit, I wish I didn't say that, or you probably get laughs and you probably love it, right?
Yeah, they look at you. Like I remember once I went up to this person. I said, we've got a place called Kmart here, which is like your Walmart over there, right? Yeah. But do you have Kmart? No, you have Kmart. It's Kmart. No. And we did it's like a Target. It's like something like that. And we did a skit one day, and I called it K Michael, and because that's what one of my friends Nono used to call it. I go to K Michael, right? I went and asked this woman at this cafe, do you know where K Michael is? And she went, no. And she looked at me and was like, what? And I said, K Michael, do you know where like I was saying to her, are you dumb? Like, how do you not know K Michael? You live in Australia. And then I went, Kmart. No, Kmart. Do you know where Kmart is? Because it just sometimes just seeps into your psyche.
Comes out.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't, I don't know about the other boys, but I wouldn't change it for the world. These guys have given us a different life.
Well, I was going to say one more thing to add on to that. So, for example, I have a habit of comparing things to movies all the time, right? So, you know the movie The Truman Show?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Truman Show.
Love
Jim
it.
Carrey.
Yeah, amazing movie, right? So it's like that. It's like the same thing. He's doing the same thing every day, right? He's in a routine. And then one day he just snaps and goes, I want to go to Fiji. I want to get out of here. I want to do things, right? So it's the same thing like that. Like you mentioned about the coffee shop, and you go there and be like, I'll take this one. And you go, I'll take this one. Like if you say the same thing over and over and over, you're gonna be like, okay, let me try to like do something different now. Let me try to make it like different. Right?
Yeah.
That's
100%.
the same thing. That's exactly what I thought of. So yeah.
Yeah, but
Very much so.
So you guys got the characters down and stuff, but how? Because I'm impressed with how you guys do social media. Just on all platforms, you're killing it. Like the editing, just being active and posting, and like I don't know, how do you guys? I see even a lot of times Joe and Carl. I think you do your personal page too. You guys are always posting stuff. Like how do you take the comedy and kind of see success with social media, because that's a whole nother animal, you know?
I think I think that people just want to laugh at the moment, guys. You know what I mean? Like, so, and I don't know, Carlo. I pretty much can speak about Carlo as well. Well, on his, we haven't got a formula. You know, we don't say let's do it. Let's make sure we put something out every day, and let's put it out exactly the same. And let's do it. Like we just, if we feel something, or if I feel something, I could be lying down and think, oh, this could be funny. Put it together, throw it out, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, that's literally it. I think the first thing to do is to get off your ass and do it. That's the first thing that you got to do. I don't know. Am I saying anything wrong there?
I think I know what you're talking about like the aesthetics of it and stuff like that, like how it look. I remember speaking to you on WhatsApp, and you're like, "Hey man, I like the way you're promoting your shows. It looks really polished and everything like that." Mm-hmm. Is that if you're talking about that type of stuff, like
kind of both, just like your overall success with social media, because it's hard. Like even TikTok too, I noticed. Like I don't know. Yeah. Kind of like you're saying, the aesthetics of it, like that you have to be kind of good with cutting and this and that. Like it's probably editing work and just growing. Like you could be funny, but it doesn't mean necessarily you're going to grow on social media. So that is kind of interesting with how you're saying, like
100%. Like if you're doing editing, I think you have to have the eye for it, right? If you're doing your videos, even 1-2 milliseconds extra, sometimes if you leave something 2 milliseconds extra, it's not as funny as if you cut it earlier. Like that, you have to have that. But in terms of the way we portray ourselves, I don't know. We try to keep it looking nice, and you know.
I also think we don't take too much. We don't take ourselves too seriously as well. You know. And when it comes to promoting the show and being polished and being professional, yes, we take that seriously. That's one side of it. But when we start talking about ourselves, we don't take ourselves too seriously. And I think it's all about just keeping people laughing, keeping people knowing if they come on and watch any of our videos that they're going to have, you know, it's hopefully going to be funny. It's hopefully going to put a smile on their face.
It's also, I was going to say, it's also seeing if you see something working. Yeah, it's also being vigilant and seeing what works, seeing what doesn't, trying things, always trying. Like you try something new, and if that fails, I'll flip it up a bit. And then if you see something works, you try it again, and then you go down that lane, and you form all these different lanes. Like on my personal page, I got a few lanes that I'll do, and on our page, it's the same thing. We've got lanes. We've got the dad stuff. We've got the COVID stuff that we're doing now. Like we've got all these. We've got the dancing stuff that we do together on TikTok. We've got all these lanes, and we've got these go-to things. We're like, hey, we haven't done a dancing one in a while. We haven't done a COVID. Right now, everything's COVID, but we haven't done a mums. We haven't done a mums video. We haven't done we've got all these formulas like we haven't done a conversational piece. We haven't done, you know.
You kind of tested a bunch of those.
Now we can't get together, boys. You know, we literally cannot get together, so we can't do a dancing video. We can't do this video. We can't do that video, and that's the hardest part. So we have to then quickly adapt and go, okay, what are we going to do? Well, let's just start doing a couple of videos on our own.
Well, what were you going to say, Michael? You had a question.
Hold on, can I add before you go ahead, Michael?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm trying to think of it. Go ahead.
Just one thing. I think to add to what Carl said, I mean, obviously you respond to what the people want, more. You tend to get
okay.
guided by the success of your videos or how people are feeling about it, what the comments you're getting. But you really can't fake real. And I think that's one of the things that's really attributed to our movement as such, is because we're all real. And I don't think you can fake that. We're all good mates. I don't think you can fake that.
Yeah.
And the genuine, the bickering and shit that we between us, that's real. You can't fake that either. And I think that's probably part of why it looks so the way it does, is because it's real. It's
people tell you very quickly what they like and what they don't like. And especially in today's day and age, we're going back to what my brother Joe was saying about, like, back in the 80s, there was like 10 comics and now there's thousands. The online platform makes it millions of people trying to break through. So in a sense, it's actually harder to break through on social media, because you've got everyone with a phone trying to be funny, right?
It's competing, everyone's a competitor. Yeah,
that's right. Well, we're not just competitor.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's like you got to break through.
You're competing for space on people's. You have to be funny, because if you're not, someone else is probably funnier, and that space is getting shown. So
that's right.
Yeah, but
so if you break through, in today's day and age on social media, people like go, "Oh, he just came through on social media." Nah, man, we're competing now with more people than anyone has ever competed with. And if people are funny, the people will tell them that they're funny because their videos kick off, or this, that, the other. If people aren't or don't break through, it's like, oh, I'm funnier than him. Well, maybe you weren't. Maybe the other guy's content.
The people will tell you.
The people tell you. That's what it is. The people tell.
How you kind of formed your lanes, like you were talking about? Did you kind of try a bunch of different areas and then notice like those 3 were the best, or did you just kind of say these are the 3 areas that we're gonna kick ass in, and then kind of go from there? Like, which way did it?
I'll give you an example, right? We've got, even on my personal page, I got this formula of doing a speech as the premiere, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that worked. We got conversational pieces, like you're talking to each other. That worked. And you're like, okay, I got this other thing where I'm the different states, and the states are bickering with each other. So I'm a person, I'm Victoria, I'm the state, and you find it, and then you got other things that you try and you think, oh shit, that didn't work, and you try it again, because if it doesn't work once and you believe in it, try it again, try it 2-3 times. If it doesn't work, it's like, oh, okay, well, it didn't work. No one wants to see that stuff, and you put it away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But whatever works, double down on it, and keep going forward with it. Find your stuff.
You got to keep taking risks too. Like, you got to keep trying, mixing it up. It gets stale after a while, People kind of
and sometimes and again, it's what you guys said too. Sometimes you may like something, but someone may not find it funny, right? And I guess sometimes you have to take that hard reality check. Like, you know what? I thought this was good, but it's not going to work. And at the end of the day, the way I think about it, it's a business too. At the end of the day, it's about, I totally agree. Like, you can't fake being real and stuff. And I totally agree with that. And I guess there's a mix of it. Like, you have to have the realness, but you have to also think like smart business wise too, like, which you guys obviously do with your stuff. But even for me, when I first started my show, like, I was the same way. I thought like, oh, like, I'm just gonna do what I like, nothing else. And then I did it for a while, and then it kind of wasn't doing very good. And I thought, let me put my realness mixed with what people like or want to see. And that's what the realness comes out too. Because at the end of the day, we're surrounded by this stuff. We're surrounded by the pop culture, people's opinions, all this stuff. You got to kind of take it a bit and go, okay, like, how can I take this now and make it something where people are going to watch? Because this is what's trending, or people like this stuff.
I see you guys adapted like with TikTok, man, because like you said, the dancing videos just with the music and stuff. I forgot which one I saw that went viral, but I was laughing my ass off, man. It was like you guys were just dancing to the song and like all in sync. It
would have been the cleaning, the mom's cleaning bit.
That was it. The mom's cleaning. Yeah, that one was awesome, man. Like, I don't know. It's you guys just adapt, like you're on it. Like I feel like with TikTok, you guys grew fast as hell.
That was my brother. My brother was like, listen, this is a new social media platform. We should sort of give it a good red hot crack at now at the start, and I think we're at 400. How long have we been on TikTok? 2 years? A year and a half? Or Carl or something?
Maybe a year.
5 years, maybe? No, 2 years.
No, TikTok about a year. TikTok about a year. We did it probably at the start of
about 5 weeks.
And that's grown nicely, and like you said, there's those dancing videos. Because what we find too is that every platform has a different audience.
Yeah.
Your Facebook, your Instagram, your TikTok, YouTube, they're all different. And you got to sort of cater to all of them, which is crazy, because it's not easy. People think it's easy. You got to put something here, put something there, put something here, do this, do that, put something over there, put something over here, do that. Like it is a lot of work. Some people go to me, oh, how do you guys, how do you do it? Or how did you become what you did? And I said, well, the first thing you got to do is just put something out there. That's your first step. Try, get it out, just do it, and
try.
And it could take 5 years.
The 5 years, or it could take 20 years. The 5's the new 20.
It could.
I think it takes at least 5 years. We just broke the mold a bit, but it really does. Well, how long does it take? Any apprenticeship's 4 or 5 years anyway. It's going to take.
Yeah.
You can't just put out anything and expect to.
I think we got a bit. I think we were lucky. We hit something pretty early. But if anyone's watching who wants to get on social media or listening who wants to get on social media, if you don't get anything in the first year, 2, whatever, just keep trying stuff.
Yeah.
Try stuff, and if it doesn't work, change it.
Change it.
With hardcore, it's going to be our 10 year.
It should change.
Better.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Sorry? Said with hardcore, it's going to be our 10 year later this month. And I remember the first couple of years, we didn't have there was barely anybody on the page the first couple of years. But that's why it's crazy to me with TikTok, because it's like what I got in 5 years of running Facebook, people are getting on TikTok overnight. It's you know what I mean? It's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I'm going to say, I remember seeing hardcore on Facebook first, and I was amazed. I was like, man, look at this page, it's huge. And I started sort of talking to some people, and I was digging around. I was like, oh, who's the guy that runs it? We couldn't find him. He was elusive, he was hidden, and in the beginning of it. And I think I spoke to some, I can't remember who it was, and I was like, oh, it's this young guy out of America, and your dad started it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that right?
Yeah,
your dad started it, and it was it was a merch thing. It was merch, and then you took over, and you made moves on social media to get it where it is now. And man, hats off to you, because
thank you.
The branding, the way you market your merch, and the merch you come up with, and the way you do things is spot on, and I can always appreciate. And that's why you asked us about how, the aesthetics and how do you do it, because you're real switched on with that, because what you've done with hardcore is next level, and it's awesome. So
and that's why I love working with Mike and stuff too. Mike has a great brand. That's why I took a liking. There's so many Italian pages out there, but Mike's it's biggest,
polished, man. It's very polished.
Perfect word.
Bro.
Yeah,
and that's why I wanted to pick your guys' brain on some things, because I don't know, I love that's what I love getting into and thinking about, and you know what I mean. So you guys I feel like you guys are really killing it and really onto something too. So I feel like there's probably a lot I could learn from you guys as well. Just the way you guys are carrying yourself online and things like that. Definitely impressed on your guys' end as well.
That's a good friendship, man. We've enjoyed your friendship up until now, and we're gonna be friends for years to come. It's
I can't wait for you to buy me a deep dish pizza, Mikey. Okay.
I got you, man. I'll show you all we got Italian beef out here, the freaking deep dish.
Yeah.
We'll hook you up. Trust me, you'll be good.
Yes.
I can't wait.
And it was nice meeting you guys too. You guys are awesome.
It's been crazy, and now we're about to sort of embark on an arena tour around Australia as well. So that we actually should be on this tour as we speak.
Well, actually, what month is it? It's 14th of September. We should have been a month and a month and a half into our arena tour, and we're locked up at home, unfortunately, in Australia. We can't do it. But
so it's kind of pushed back for now. Do you guys plan? Is there like
Yeah,
we're supposed to plan? Is it tough to plan like that date though?
The date has been put quite well. We've got a big Australian promoter sort of on board this year, so we've been lucky enough not to have to worry about the jigsaw puzzle of putting all these because there's like 35 shows all together. So he had to move it all from January to April next year. Yeah, I wouldn't want his job, man, because it's got to sort of all be, it's all got to place into place, and we just ring him up and go, "What's going on? Where's the new date?" And they tell us.
It's actually a lot hard. It's that guy must be the team must have been tearing the hair out because we've got like an A rig and a B rig and all the props have got to get everywhere and coordinate all the venues. Yeah. Man, what a job! Jesus Christ, we owe that guy a.
We'll get through it.
We'll get through trouble to tell you now.
We'll get to it, and it'll be great. But hopefully, next time,
guys, what we've done is we've actually built this show so we can bring it to you guys.
Yeah,
and so we made it this year. So like a lot of the jokes aren't really just Aussie jokes. They're universal. So we can't wait to bring it to you guys. Bring it to
the dream is to get to Madison Square Garden in New York.
I could see you guys.
And that's a dream of ours. We want to do that. And what's one in Chicago with what's they called the equivalent?
There's a couple, maybe Soldier Field. I don't know if
what's the one when Michael Jordan used to play at
Staples Center?
No, not the Staples Center. United Center.
Wherever Jordan played,
United Center.
But that's the dream,
I wonder which one's bigger. But yeah, United Center, yeah.
Yeah, then here I think it's what's it here?
We might need this.
What's that one you got there? In Adam, you got that big one in Toronto.
Scotiabank Arena. Yeah, either Air Canada or Scotiabank Arena. Yeah.
We'll see how we go. But that's the dream, And who knows? With any luck, next time we come on the podcast, we'll have our own show or a movie because that's where we want to get to eventually.
Oh, that'd be amazing!
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Yeah, so.
If you guys tour Canada and America, let us know, and we'll definitely have you on the podcast again for sure. But in the meantime, everyone listening, go give these guys a follow. You guys are on Twitter, or what are you on? TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, anything else, or?
That's it for now until the new one comes. That's it for now.
Yeah, until the new one comes. True.
But also, it's awesome meeting you guys. Thanks for having us. You guys are awesome, and man, stay safe, and hope to talk to you guys soon.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It was nice. It was great meeting you guys. You guys are awesome, and it's been a pleasure following you guys and having a laugh all together.
Yeah, it was great catching up with you guys, man.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And to all your listeners out there, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you all understood us. There is going to be a subtitled version coming out very soon.
All right, Joe. You could edit the subtitles in. I'll send you the podcast.
Oh wow!
You know what? Listen, it might take. It might take 5 years. 5 years.
Yeah,
5 years. 20 years later. Another 5 years.
No, I'm just messing with you, buddy.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Talk to you guys. Have a good one, man.
Gotcha.
Welcome back to the Up and Adam show. It's Francesca. I'm really excited to be shooting this episode because it's my own little segment on the show. So I'm gonna have a lot of fun, and it's just gonna be random topics or like just little random things that I discuss, or like, there's no set thing. I'm just gonna talk about whatever I want in the moment. So for today, I know Halloween's over, but you can watch horror movies all year. I love horror movies. If you know me, you know that. So I want to do this little activity, little game. And there's a picture, and it's basically, it says, could you survive the killer of your birth month? So based on every month, there's a certain villain from a horror movie. and I'm going to say who I think will survive and who won't based on who the killer is in the month. So let's get started. So for January and February, I'm going to combine them because I have like the same answer for both. January is Freddy and February is Jason. So you could escape Freddy for like a week if you don't sleep, but you're going to have to sleep eventually. So when that point comes, you're kind of screwed. Like that man loves killing people. Like he's just gonna have so much fun chasing you. He's just gonna have such a good time. You can't really escape. And then Jason, he's really slow, but like that guy is like 7 feet tall. He's pretty relentless. He will find you. So I think that people in January and February, you're pretty screwed. I don't really see how you could get your way out of it. So for March, we have Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Honestly, for March, I think you're good. You could escape because if you've seen the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the one from the 70s, at the end, the main girl, she gets on the back of a truck and like he drives away, and then Leatherface is just standing there, like he doesn't even chase her. He's just swinging the chainsaw. And he's just standing there. He just gave up. He's like, okay, she escaped. So just get on the back of a car or just get in a car and just dip and you'll be fine. He won't bother chasing you. Like he won't care. So Leatherface, you're fine. April, I think this is from the movie Hellraiser. I have not seen it, so I'm not going to comment on it because I have no idea what the villain's like. So I'm going to skip April. I'm sorry. May is my nemesis, Chucky, which Adam knows that Chucky is so annoying to me. If you're in May, you're blessed. As soon as he comes to you, just punt him. That's it. Or like grab him, throw him like a football. You're fine. Throw him out a window. Like Chucky is so, he won't do anything. You will be fine. Like a dog could beat Chucky. You will be perfectly fine. So May, you're lucky. June is Samara from The Ring. June, just don't watch the videotape and you won't die. Just don't watch it. And it's as simple as that. If you don't watch it, you survive. Just don't get curious and watch the video. They literally tell you, do not watch this. That's it. You'll be fine. But if you do watch it, you're done. But you brought that onto yourself. Okay. July is Alien. You're done. I'm sorry. July, it's an alien. What else can I say? That man, he's going to come through and pop out of your chest. Have you guys seen that from the original when they pop through the chest? What are you gonna do? You can't escape an alien. That guy's coming for you. So July, I'm sorry. August is my favorite horror movie villain of all time, Mr. Michael Myers. If you are born in August, you're done. You're screwed. There is no way out of this. I'm sorry. You're gonna die. Michael Myers is the definition of a menace. This man is relentless. He does not care about anything. He kills people with the, like, I know what he looks like under the mask. I can just imagine it. The straightest face, so serious, without even blinking. He will cut a person's head off. He does not care. He's been chasing Lori so he's been in the psych ward for 40 years. And then as soon as he escaped, he's still going after her. After 40 years, he did not forget about the one person. He will not rest until you're gone. Like if you got Michael Myers, oh, you're out of luck. Oh my God. September is Predator from the movie Predator. This one's basically like Alien too, because like he is an alien. You can't really do anything. Like that guy, well, he's not even a guy. he's just gonna shoot you with those lasers that he has. He's just gonna eat you or something. What are you gonna do with Predator? You can't really. I mean, I don't know if he can die though. I don't remember the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie if they killed him. Maybe if you can kill him, then you're fine. Like, I don't know, maybe cut his head off or something. But Predator is pretty tough. I don't think you can make it out of that. October, oh my god, this is another easy one. Pennywise got beaten by a group of kids. You will be fine. And another thing, just don't be scared of him. Like, he's just a clown. Don't be scared of clowns, you know. He just has makeup on. He just has a wig on, you know. He's not scary. Pennywise is not scary. If you're born in October, you'll be fine. You can beat him. Pennywise is weak. Don't let him make it seem like, you know, he's a big shot. November. I'm born in November. So for November, it's The Nun from the Conjuring series. Honestly, if I'm in the Conjuring universe, I'm calling up Ed and Lorraine Warren and I'm making them do like an exorcism or something so they send her back to hell, because that's the only way that you can kill her. You have to do an exorcism. So I just call them up and I'd be like, yeah, guys, can you please do this? Like, she's haunting me. She's like trying to take over me, whatever. And then they'll send her back. And then that's it. You could survive. I think The Nun, you can survive. Just call Ed and Lorraine Warren or someone who does exorcisms and like all those things. All right. And last but not least, we have December. And for December is Jigsaw. Jigsaw, you can survive. It's just a matter of how much are you willing to suffer to survive, because if you're in a saw trap, you're gonna end up without an arm or a leg, or what, like one of your body parts is coming off. It's gonna be a matter of how much do you want to push yourself in order to survive. But I mean, theoretically, yes, you can beat Jigsaw. You definitely can survive if you have the balls to. But that's it. So we got through all the months. I hope you guys enjoyed what I said or agreed, or if you disagree, let me know. I hope that this was entertaining, and like I said, I'm really excited to have my segment on this show. So I hope that was a good first episode, and yeah, oh my god, Adam's cheery. But anyways, I had a lot of fun, and I will see you guys soon.